guys, welcome back to my channel. Every thought I just had just completely vanished. I got it. Today's video is going to be a video that one of you guys requested. I actually got a DM on Instagram from Shannon, so shout out to you. I don't know if you want me to say your username, so I won't. But she actually requested me after I did, I believe it was the Moana eyeshadow palette review, to do a review on the Wonder Woman eyeshadow palette from Hot Topic. And this palette I actually ordered a month ago, and I got it 2 days ago. It was a headache to get my hands on this, but this is what we are going to be reviewing today, the Wonder Woman eyeshadow palette from Hot Topic. It is literally just called Wonder Woman. There is no like specific name or anything like that. This is the brush it comes with. It's just like a normal packing brush. It looks pretty good, and I'm pretty excited it came with a packing brush because I love packing brushes. I feel like there's so many different uses for them. So subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing I noticed about the palette is it is like a magnetic closure. It's just like a normal palette type of thing. It's made out of thick cardboard, but it is really long. It's super long. I didn't realize it was so long. If it has the sizing on it, I will tell you. It does not actually tell me how long it is, but it is like huge, like the length of my forearm. Like, it's huge. And it has the little Wonder Woman symbol on it. And what's nice about the palette is it also has a mirror, and it says, remember that in a world of ordinary mortals, you are a Wonder Woman. I don't know if you can read it, but it's right there. And if I bend this backwards, these are all of the shadows. Now, some of these shades look pretty unique. Fire and Fierce are the two that are really catching my attention, but I'm worried that the glitter in these two, oh, Wisdom 2 also has glitter, the glitter in these three will just fall all over the place and it won't actually stay where you put it. I am worried about that, but we're just gonna go ahead and swatch them all because some of you guys said you like those videos better when I swatch them in my reviews. I haven't been doing it recently, but I will get back into it. I keep forgetting. We're gonna start, I guess, over here. So, ooh, okay, they feel pretty decent. I mean, my finger, that is the black, the shade Myth. They feel pretty decent. They are a bit powdery, but they have pretty good pigmentation considering. I've had a couple palettes from Hot Topic that I didn't really love, but the Riverdale one, if you guys saw that palette review, is my absolute favorite. So look at that black. That is a pretty decent looking black. The palette is, how much is this? $15. It's $14.90. So it's $15, same price as all the other ones. And let's just swatch one of the glitters now. Wisdom is the very next shade. Yeah, when you swatch it, the glitters kind of come off, so it's like an overspray. It's what it looks like anyway. But I do really like this color, but like I said, the glitter did pretty much come off. It's at the top of the swatch here just a little bit, but when because I swatched it this way, when I went down, it kind of disappeared. So you can kind of see the glitter. So the glitter is, at least it looks like an overspray. I don't know how I feel about that. So here are all these swatches. This is clay. It is like a sheer shadow. So I don't know if it's like a shadow topper because there wasn't a whole lot of pigment here. And then Fierce and Fire are these two right here, and they needed 2 coats, but this one had like no pigmentation. But overall, they swatched really well. I'm amazed at that blue right there because it's like stunning. But they swatched really well, especially if you drugstore. That is no primer, no nothing. It's just swatching them. The black looks gorgeous. The Lorac Behind the Scenes eye primer, this is one of my favorites. I don't know why my under eyes are looking so powdery. There's no powder sitting there, so I don't know what that deal is, but I use a different concealer, so maybe that's it. We're going to take the shade Peace, which is this one right here. It's actually a matte shade. I thought it was shimmery, but it's actually matte, which I still can use it as an inner corner highlight, but I typically like my inner corner highlights to be shimmery. So we're going to pick up Peace to set that eyeshadow primer. And because it is such a light color, I mean, you're not going to be able to tell really a whole much about it, but it feels pretty good. It looks like it's setting that primer evenly, which is nice. Nothing's worse than when you don't set a primer evenly and then like some areas are sticky and some aren't. I've definitely made that mistake before. So I just got done setting my eyeshadow primer down. Sorry, I had to answer the door. I'm gonna take the shade Fighter, which is this one right here, and I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. It just looks like a nice slight warm neutrally brown tone, which are perfect. That is decently pigmented. Do you guys see that? That is decent pigment. I mean, look at that pigmentation. Wow, I am blown away. I've only used 2 shades. The mattes are typically the better thing from the Hot Topic eyeshadows. So my phone rang. So again, it stopped filming. So I hope we're in the same position. I honestly do not know. But we are just going to blend this out. I'm blown away. I think, as I was saying, the mattes in general from the Hot Topic palettes are typically like the better of the eyeshadows. It's usually like the shimmers that are really bad, but the Moana palette and the Lilo and Stitch palette are like hit and miss throughout the whole thing. The Riverdale palette's my favorite one that I've tried. All the shadows were really consistent, and the what is it called? I think it's called Pastel Dreams. Every single shade in there is really not the best, but so far this palette seems to be working really, really well. I really like the way they're blending out. The pigmentation is nice, and this would be perfect for, I think, beginners and even people who are professionals would enjoy this. I mean, if you are used to, like, you know, Natasha Denona shadows, you may not love this, but I feel like you could definitely use it and get a good look out of it, for sure. At least that's how I feel right now. I mean, it could change completely with how they blend, like, out and stuff, but they seem to be blending okay right now. But we all know how quickly that bust can change, because I've definitely made review videos before that I did not love the palette in. I'm actually going to go in with the Hunter shade, which is the, if I can open the palette, the orange shade right here. That shade is like gorgeous. You can kind of see a truer color right there. And I want to take that because I really like shades like this, and I feel like I want to build my crease up and see what happens. So since I already had that brown down, this really is just adding warmth to the look. I don't know what colors I'm going to use. I'm just kind of picking and choosing. I'm going to take the shade Fierce, which is this one right here. That's one of the ones that needed a little extra help. And we're going to pick that up on the brush that it actually came with. Yeah, see, that Fierce color, it definitely needs some help. For sure. And it has a ton of fallout. Can you guys see it sitting there? So we're going to try a different brush to apply Fierce. Now, glitter shadows typically do have a lot of fallout, so that's kind of true in every shadow. But, okay, it's working a lot better now with a flatter synthetic brush like this. It's, I don't know exactly what brush this is. There's actually not a name on it, but it's a really wide synthetic brush. It is working a lot better with a brush like that. So maybe this particular shade has to be used with a different type of brush. And like I said, glitter shadows typically do have fallout. That's just how they are. That's like drugstore, high-end. Pretty much every glitter shadow is going to have some form of fallout. That's just really how they are. So I probably should have done my face after, but I didn't, so we're just going to roll with it. So after each time I touch up the red, I'm just going to dust away the fallout. Alright, so if you hear Puppy crying, it's Parker. He's not in the room with me and he's crying because he wants to be in here, but with all this like filming and makeup stuff around, I don't really love to have him in here because he's only 10 weeks old, so he can like chew on everything, and he's like literally like this tall. He's really, really small. He's on my Instagram stories all the time if you want to see him. And so yeah, I don't want him to get anything in his mouth that he could possibly choke on, so he's not in the room and he's crying because he wants in here. So if you hear him, everything's fine. I might have to go get him though because he's not gonna stop crying until I go get him. But alright, so I'm gonna use the shade Mighty, which is this one right here. I think it's the darkest brown in the palette. I'll have to go get Parker because he's crying an awfully lot. I'm gonna put that right in my crease for now, and I'm probably gonna add an even darker color to it because I feel like it's not dark enough. Lighter shade we used originally, which is this one right here. It's kind of like a baby pukey color, and I'm gonna blend out the edges. All right, so if you heard the ruckus, it was caused by Parker. Alright, so he's gonna sit in my lap probably the rest of the video. He's about 9 inches long and probably about, I don't know, 3.5 inches tall. He's not very tall. He's not very big. Not very big. Good boy. And yes, he's named Peter Parker. His name's Parker after Peter Parker. So, in case you were wondering, that's where I got his name. He's not very big. He has scoliosis too, so he's really, really tiny. He's not very active, so he's very people dependent. He likes being around people, but I'm gonna be a mess the rest of the video because I'm gonna have to keep looking at, making sure he's not chewing on something he's not supposed to. There's a bunch of cords in here and stuff. Most of them are like behind my table, and he didn't go that way. He went this way behind me, so I will know if he comes back this way to check on the cords, but he's good right now. There he is. Hi! We're gonna take a brush like this, and you guys can't even see what brush this is. This is the same brush I used black on before, which is why I'm using it. And I'm gonna take the shade Myth, which is the black in here. I don't ever use black eyeshadow. You guys know I prefer dark brown. And I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of this. Alright, now I'm gonna take the shade Peace, which is this one right here. The Warrior shade, which is that dark blue, and I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. I'm going to take the shade Strength, which is that blue that I really, 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 really want to use, and I'm going to blend that out with this shade. I mean, look at that pigmentation. Oh. I typically am not obsessed about blue eyeshadow. It's just usually not my thing. But this... So I'm going to finish my makeup and be right back. Oh, it is so hot. Okay. So, my final thoughts on the Wonder Woman eyeshadow palette. First off, I really, really like it. I think it is great. I do think the shades I mentioned earlier that needed a little extra help still do need a little extra help. I mean, I definitely had to go in a couple times to get really good pigmentation out of the red shade. But overall, it was really nice. I think this is pretty much tied, if not better, than the Riverdale palette. This is definitely one of the best palettes, maybe even the best eyeshadow palette I've tried from Hot Topic. I think it's great, and it's actually kind of insane because this wasn't even on my radar. I wouldn't have purchased it without Shannon asking me to do a review on it, but I would definitely say it's definitely worth your money, or at least a try at it, because it is really nice. I feel like you could definitely get a really nice eyeshadow look at it. I'm really happy with the look I have today, and I still think I might do a video with this Strength shade because that shade is like incredible. It's probably my favorite one of the whole palette, which is weird because, like I said earlier, blue eyeshadow is typically not my thing. I mean, I'm usually more about neutral tones and things like that, but I decided to also do a nude lip, that way all the focus is on the eyes. So I do really like this. I do think that Fire, Fierce, and Clay do need a little extra help. Fierce worked a lot better with a flat synthetic brush, like I told you earlier, so I would keep that in mind if you are wanting this palette or you're using it and you can't get that shade to work. I would try getting a flat synthetic brush. Pretty much I think every brand has them. I do definitely think this could be somebody's holy grail palette, especially somebody who's a beginner or somebody who doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money on makeup, or somebody who is still trying to learn how to do eyeshadow. I feel like you'd absolutely love this palette, so I would definitely recommend it to you. The only thing missing in this palette is an inner corner highlight if you want a shimmery one. If you want a matte one, you can definitely use Peace, but I typically like a shimmery one, so I just use a loose shadow. I did not love the brush it actually came with. I felt like it just kind of smeared the shadow around, so I wouldn't recommend it for packing on shadow. Maybe for inner corner highlight it'll be good, or for like really precise detail work people would really like it, but for the most part I would not be like completely obsessed with it for just the brush. I do like it. Is it my favorite palette? No. But will I definitely use it again? Yes. I think it's great. I probably will do a video, like I said, with that strength shade, so I do like it. The one thing I have a problem with is how long it is. Because it's so long, I don't know if I will actually have anywhere to put it. Because the way I store my makeup, it's all in a cart, so I don't know if it'll work. So yeah, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and leave your video requests down below, or tell me on social media. It's all linked down below, and I will see you in my next